Now let's create a new class over here, and let's call that calculate mileages of itineraries. Okay, and then with the main methods there. Okay, finish. And we're going to need to read line, and I think we only need to read strings, I believe. But let's do that. Scanner, input, new. That's pretty much standard for all the examples. Okay, so now I forgot to do it again. Scanner. Import scanner. Okay, good. Okay, so now we're going to prompt the user for the name of the city. So, of course, we're going to keep asking them until they say we don't want to continue. So, Boolean, let's say user wants to enter more. Okay, let's say initially simply true. And then we're going to need a while loop. User wants to enter more cities. How about that? Okay, and the way we update that is by prompt the user system.out.println. Would you like to enter another city in your itinerary? And either yes or no. I should put it in one single line. It's quite long. And then string answer from the user will be input dot next line. Okay, and then we're going to update this Boolean variable here, depending on whether that's a yes or no. Right? So answer dot equals y. Okay, this one should be very easy for you. You know, we have been doing this many times. Okay, that's how we update this Boolean variable to determine when to exit from the while loop. So now, at the beginning of each loop, we're going to ask the user system.out.println. Enter the name of a city. So we're going to say string city is assigned to input dot next line. Okay, and now somehow we have to store this somewhere, right? We got to collect all the values. In this case, we need an array. Let's declare some constant here. Final integer, let's say maximum size of the array. Let's say 20. That's the assumption we are making. Okay, integer, let's say, oh, sorry, not integer, string. String array, cities is assigned to new string array max size. Okay, and also we also need a magical counter, right, to see how many city names we have read so far. Integer, how many names read. Okay, initially simply 0. Okay, so now as said in the instruction here, we don't check at this stage to see if the names are actually defined or not in the table. We check that later. Okay, so now it's easy. We simply just do cities, which is the array, at index, how many names read is assigned to the city. As easy as that. And then increment that. Okay, that's how we store all the cities together. Let's just try it out. So if you say system.out. Oh, actually, I need a loop. For integer I is equal to 0, I less than cities dot. Oh, actually, how many, right? How many names read? I plus plus. Okay, and then system.out.println. Okay, just want to see if all the numbers, all the names have been stored. Cities I. Okay, let's give it a try. That's actually how to store the numbers and make sure all of them are stored before we actually go on to process the array. Okay, let's say Chicago. I want to continue. Yes. Let's say Boston. I want to continue. Yes. What about Miami? I don't want to continue. They will print Chicago, Boston, Miami. So it has been stored properly. Okay, so there should be no problem up to now. So now I'm going to give you a little bit hints on how you can proceed to actually process the array. Okay? So now let's see what you can do. Let me just put this into comments here, so you can comment that back later if you like. Okay, now we can say start processing the array of string names. Okay, so now let's just write the standard loop. Integer I equals 0, I less than how many names read, I plus plus. Okay, so now we gotta be a little bit careful. I will fix the upper bound in a moment, but let's just see what's the general idea. So somehow if I simply do the following, it wouldn't compile, although that might be your first try. So somehow I need when you want to calculate the average of the array, you need to declare some variable called sum, right? We do something similar. So let's say integer sum of distances. Okay, initially that's simply just 0. And somehow we want to accumulate this distance value. For example, if you got Chicago, Boston, and Miami, as I said before, if you currently look at Chicago, you have to somehow to see what's the distance between Chicago and Boston. So that will be at position I and at position I plus 1. That's roughly the idea. Let's just give it a try to see if that works. If I say sum of distances plus equal, okay, that means sum of distances is assigned to sum of distances plus something else. That's just a short form. Let me try this first. One thing I forgot. Can we just go back to distance table here? And we do need a table there, okay? Otherwise, it wouldn't work. Can we just copy version 2? Just this part. That's what we need. Okay? Can we copy that part there? Go back to this class. Let's just put that, let's say, right after we declare the scanner. That's what we need. Okay? So now, if we simply say distance here, cities I, plus, I will try to explain this in a moment. Distance, actually, you know what? I want to make it more understandable. Let's say string here, origin is assigned to distance, cities at position I, and then we also have another variable here called the destination. Is equal to cities at I plus 1. So we got two variables here. So now somehow we want to use the origin and destination to access the two-dimensional array. That's what we want to do. So let's try the following. If we try this, the distance table here, if we simply say origin and destination, because previously what we tried was with a distance from Chicago to Boston. That's what we tried. So we thought this should work, right? But let's have a look. It doesn't compile. Let's see why. So if you look at the compiled message there, type mismatch cannot convert from string to int. Remember, distance is a two-dimensional array. To index into the array, you have to use integer indices. And remember, origin and destination are elements from the string array, so they are string, they are not integer. Okay, that's why this wouldn't compile. We're getting there, but not yet. So there's got to be a way for us to for example, if the name happens to be Chicago, we want to convert this number here into the corresponding number or constant for Chicago, right? That's something we should do. So I'm going to, the hints start from here, okay? So somehow this wouldn't compile. So now you may want to do something like this, to say if origin dot equals, we want to compare values. If that's equal to Chicago, for example here, and then we're going to say, let's say integer origin index, like here, and then you would say origin index is equal to, okay, equal to something here. Okay, can we just go back to distance table again? I need to copy another part, I forgot. Can we also copy the declaration of the constant here? Okay, we also need them. Copy this part here and go back and put them over here. Okay, so now we say that the origin index should be equal to Chicago, like that. Okay, you can finish other parts. Let me say initially just minus 1. You're going to reassign that. Okay, so now rather than origin, you're going to say origin index, and that part is going to work. Okay, so what I want you to do, let me just finish this for another part. So destination index, and similarly, actually similar. So that's going to be destination index. Somehow you might have some code duplication, but don't worry about it. That's okay. Just continue with this solution. I will show you something that can save you some code on Monday, so you don't have to panic. Just follow this solution here. Oops. And destination index. Okay, so that's how you should really proceed. That should give you sufficient hints.
So then, really like 7, it's the same as each?
I'm afraid yes. Yeah, don't worry about the code duplication now. Just follow that. Okay, yeah. And then you can realize that for task number, if you turn onto the second page, up right below the box of output there, they say that when you calculate the mileage of a particular itinerary, it is possible that one or more of the cities entered by the user are simply not defined. In those cases, you have to somehow report the error. So that's something you should also work out, maybe over the weekend. Okay. So for example, if somehow they enter London as one of the cities, and London simply is undefined table, so you cannot do it. So somehow you should report back to the user, London is not defined, I cannot do it. So, and over there, I mentioned 2 possible strategies to report the error. You should really try both. Okay. And then on Monday, I'll give you solutions for both. But I think this one should be sufficient for you to go on. Any questions about this exercise here? Okay.